I make pee-pee on the potty. This is Bug and Moss in the morning.
Ooh, that's right. It's 7:02 on the Bug and Moss morning telephone show. What's up? Today, it's the Moss Show. There's no bug. It's just me. There's three of me on the screen. And there's nothing you can do about it, because it's just me. I have no idea what we're going to get into today. I have no idea what today's going to be like. I didn't plan anything. I stayed up way too late. Whoa, good morning. 7:03, Bug and Moss morning telephone show. Except, look, it's just me. What's happening? Good morning, good. What day is today? Thursday? Friday? Monday? Wednesday? Wednesday. It's Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. Almost at the end of July. Boy, has 2026 gone by so far. Still could be our year, but that remains to be seen. Opening theme music today is the Cheeky Chores theme, composed by Eli Rexford Chambers, EliWhoDoesMusic.com. In the chat, Coyote Astronaut said, okay, this is a groove. Lightbulb said, Coconut Mall, but it's breaking news vibes. Matt Bliss said, perfect music. Leonard says, that was my favorite intro so far. That was a piece of music that I commissioned from Eli years ago, back when I first got obsessed with Taskmaster, which was right about like a little after COVID began. After 2020, and we decided to try and make our own version of Taskmaster. So I created this whole show called Cheeky Chores, and it was supposed to be a remote Taskmaster. I sent out one packet, but we never ended up actually making it. The way it worked was similar to Taskmaster, and then I mailed a packet to each of the contestants that had 3 letters in it that were each sealed, and you were supposed to take each letter and film yourself opening it and then performing the task, and then I would edit down the footage. We would all jump on the call virtually and then do the show, sort of judging everything Taskmaster style. Never ended up making it, but Eli made one of the coolest pieces of music for it, and so now we just have that theme song kicking around. We're still trying to find exactly where it belongs, and so I thought that maybe today would be a good time to bust it out. What's happening? Good morning to Coyote. Good morning, Lightbulb. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Leonard. Good morning, of course, also to Daddy. And good morning to the 2 other ones of me that are next to me on the screen. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. In light of Bug not being here, being at the concert, which I heard was awesome, I decided to try and make things a little bit insane. But boy, is it a little distracting to have so many of me. Maybe I'll keep Middle Me. No, where's Middle Me? There we go. There we go. Hi, y'all. Hello, chat. Hello, friends. How are you doing? It is... Ooh, there we go. Yeah, now I'm super big. This is fun. I don't know what we're doing today. I got some voicemails to check out. I got some other stuff that we can look at. I got some emails. We can just like dig through shit that's on my computer. I miss my wife. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do without Bug. I'm lost in the sauce. Rerun says, genuinely thought I was way more tired for a second and seeing triple. Matt Bliss says, on heavy bird watch today, lots of room for bird watching. That's true, yeah. I can make myself a little smaller. You know, we could just put on some nice music and we could just look at the sky together. We don't have to talk about anything. We don't have to talk about anything at all. Look at me, there I go. I'll just be little me right down here in the corner. Hi, welcome to the Bug and Moss Show. Anyway, sorry podcast listeners, this one's probably going to be particularly untenable. Because I'm just doing a lot of visual gags, I guess. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having fun. We asked for a call this week for people to ring in with cool parent stories about cool things that their parents did. Maybe your parents were in a band. Maybe they were, I don't know. Maybe your parents are, who's the guy that was the Man versus Machine story? Was that John Henry, where the dude fought against the machine? Maybe that was your parents. Call us, 848-MOSS-BUG. Is the number to ring up. We got a couple voicemails, and I think we'll just dive right into those to get things going, and we'll just see where that takes us. And as an absolute fallback, we'll do with what Leonard said, which is 1 hour of Moss reading old code. Yeah, we can look at some of my early JavaScript. No. Here's a voicemail that is from Emily.
Hey, Bug and Moss. Hopefully Savannah does not interrupt this voicemail. If she does, she had really something important to say. So on the subject of parent stories, I would like to give you a story from my great grandmother.
Great.
Yes, great grandmother.
That was spooky. It sounded like you replied to me.
And for a little bit of context of why I'm telling this story, so occasionally people have asked me what my pen name is Eva Mae Morin, and people have asked me, where does that name come from? It comes from my great-grandmother on my mom's side, whose name was, in fact, Eva Mae Morin. She was a very interesting person. She lived a very long life until her 90s, somewhere in her 90s, and was pretty active and healthy all through her life. But just some little interesting facts about her. She was once offered to a job to play the piano in like the old movie theaters because she was an incredible piano player. And she turned it down because she wanted to stay with her sister who had tuberculosis at the time. She also traveled from Seattle, Washington to Fairbanks? Yes,
Alaska?
Fairbanks, Alaska.
Dang.
When she was in her early 20s, to go marry a man that she had only known for 2 weeks. I mean, they had been engaged for a while and writing letters or whatever, but she had only known him for 2 weeks. And she went and she traveled by dog sled. She traveled by coach, by train, I think by boat too. And along the journey, she spent the night in an inn and had to share a bed with a prostitute, but it was okay because the prostitute didn't touch her. She traveled a lot, all over California, all over the West Coast, and really lived an interesting life. She was an interesting storyteller. Actually, in the 80s, my grandmother sat down with her and did a recording of her life, essentially. So
That's cool.
I have recorded voice of my great-grandmother. So that is
Oh, cut off by the time limit. But that's wicked cool. I always feel like our grandparents and our great-grandparents just did shit. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone's great-grandparents are like, yeah, so I sailed on a boat across the sea, landed on a dog sled, saved a village from polio, and then I also flew an airplane. That's buck wild. Also very funny to go to Alaska to meet someone that you've met and known for 2 weeks to get married, to get engaged. Also, I say funny because it was funny to be like, well, they knew each other for a while. Sounds like 2 weeks, right? I guess that's a while. That's super cool. Thank you for sharing that, Emily. Also very cool name. I was curious about where the pen name came from. I'm always curious about where people choose their pen names. I always wanted to choose my own pen name. And actually, maybe we can do that today. Here's the thing. I'd like to choose my own pen name, but I always come up with gamer tags, and that's not a very good pen name. I've thought, what would be a good author name for me? I don't have any cool grandparent names. My grandparents on my dad's side, all the dudes are just named Ken, all the way back, I'm pretty sure. I think my dad's a third. So I'll take applications for pen names if anyone has any suggestions for those. And also gamer tags, looking for what makes a good gamer tag. Matt Bliss says XXX 360 calligrapher XXX, which is very fun. I don't know where calligrapher comes from, although I did for a brief period of time try to get into calligraphy. I had one of those little books and a dip pen, and I did nothing good with it. Coyote Astronaut suggests Dink Dongleson, which is very good. That's got Chuck Tingle energy. Fucked in the butt by my own fanfic or whatever. I've not read Chuck Tingle, but I know that I need to. I have a lot of friends that are very into Chuck Tingle. Let's go ahead. Let's just do it. Let's just dip into another voicemail. I'm still getting things spinning up over here, and we have another voicemail that I think is a parent story from an unknown number, perhaps a first-time caller, or perhaps just someone whose number I did not save.
Hey, Bug and Moss, it's Sid. You guys asked for parent stories. What about parent of parent stories? That's right. I'm calling in about my grandpa. Moss has mentioned it a couple of times on the show at this point, but my grandpa made a living just being an entertainer, and he's like a true entertainer.
I'm
He
so
used to perform at different comedy clubs just all over the country. He was like the comic guest on a bunch of late night talk shows, or different talk shows that happened. Really awesome. But what I knew him from the most, and what he did for a lot of his life, was being an entertainer on cruise ships. So he had a whole band. He would travel the world just getting on stage at night with his band, doing a bunch of killer impressions. He would sing. He dabbled in ventriloquism. He just has this natural talent and charisma where he can get on stage and command the attention of everyone in the room so effortlessly. And he's just so funny. I love him to death. He also has this skill called double talk, which I will throw a link up in the Discord because it's so difficult to explain super well. But
my favorite
basically
thing.
The gist of it is he will spew nonsense at you and use certain inflection points to make it seem like he's asking questions when he's not. And so you sit there and try to understand this man, and you just think that there's something wrong with you, when in reality, he's just not saying complete sentences. He's not saying really words. And it's the best. I always thought that it was like a superpower when I was growing up because I didn't understand it. And I still don't really understand it, but I get it now. But yeah, I keep saying he's still here. He's still kicking. He's 87. But he's just, in his retirement life at this point. And he volunteers for Meals on Wheels. He's part of his local theater group. He, does watercolor painting.
That theater group is very
Still
lucky.
just a very creative guy. He's got 2 cats. Love him. Love him so much, but really just true entertainer. And we love to see it. And it's not, like, obviously people still do it, but, it's fun to see him in his prime doing it way back when. It's awesome. Also, the quickest aside, my dad, his kid, my grandpa's kid, my dad, he was a roller rink ref, so I always thought that was the coolest fucking gig because he knows how to skate really well, but he was all dressed up in the middle and would just.
Oh no, another victim of the time limit. Thank you for calling in, Sid. I have the videos ready. We're about to see we're about to see Riz personified. Sid's grandpa is the personification of Riz. Also, being a roller derby rink ref is also badass. But yes, Sid sent a playlist a while back in our Bones Crew chat featuring videos of her grandpa, and I'm going to share with you the double talk video because I love this. This man is my favorite. This man is aspirational. Let's go ahead and check this out. You ready? Just a second for the video to start up.
So obviously you saw the beach yesterday.
Yes.
Like any kind of beaches by?
What?
Any kind of beaches by? Like as far as what you went to?
What?
As far as what you went to, like in the beaches that you go, like an Elbow Beach thing or any kind of bus buys?
Oh, no. We just took a cab to Horseshoe Bay.
Did you pick any time of thing that you're doing? Like as far as other itineraries that you choose by?
On the ship or off?
On systems that you're working through. You go, like, depending on if you're doing on a tour, like on Symes? Doing times like in your theory, you have any kind of thing that you're feeling by on a vacation since?
No, I'm just so nervous with the camera.
That's all right. That's okay. No, but I'll be slower. What you're doing by is a vacation that you're dealing with, like if it's the only opportunity on your time. My father used to say, because he used to travel a lot, many years ago, he used to say,
And just leisure time?
on systems like you're having.
Is it a joke?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a joke, but I'm.
A joke. Oh my god. I knew I shouldn't have talked to you.
I know. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do this. Consistently feel like what you do and how you gauge it, whether it be a 5-day, 9-day, how does that work, like, depending on how you go through it?
I know what you're doing here. Let me say, I like the long 14-day ones.
No, see,
He's so good, right? Like, as Matt Bliss said in chat, professional brain breaker, just absolute nonsense spewing. It's genuinely incredible. For the podcast listeners, the context, I should have said this up front. He was walking around on a cruise ship holding up a microphone to strangers and asking them these completely nonsensical questions. It's so fucking good. Sid says, now imagine you're 7 and he does this for you. Yeah, it would absolutely break my brain. It breaks my brain now. I am obsessed with this. 62 Watts Lightbulb says, yes, my brain does this, but people are actually making sense. Coyote Astronaut says, amazing. Rerun says, I can't handle small talk. This would destroy me. This isn't even like small talk. This is like sideways talk. This is talk that falls out of your mouth upside down. This is good. This is good shit. I love this. There's also clips on this playlist of him doing various different impressions, including a very funny Dr. Phil impression and other things like that. Sid, if you haven't put that in the Discord, we totally should, right? Because it's so good. Sid's grandpa, absolute peak of Riz. Absolutely inspiring human being. As a Lightbulb says, reminds me of have you ever had a dream where kid? You could do it. You could, that one. I think that's the one. They mean. Wicked fun. Yeah. Joey Van, Sid's grandpa, absolute legend. That local community theater group is extremely lucky to have your grandpa with them. I popped over to the Discord as I was looking for where to continue going with the show, as I noticed that it's only 19 minutes past the hour, and that means I still have 40 minutes to continue to talk. And I saw something that Coyote shared yesterday that I feel like is probably worth talking about. And it's a product that I don't think should exist.
Is this anything, nothing, something, or still nothing? Is this anything at all?
Sometimes the intrusive thoughts win when you're the kind of person that has the money that works at a place that makes products or something, and something cursed makes its way into reality. And now this particular thing is on Etsy.com, which, I mean, used to be only for handmade stuff, but I feel like has gone a bit downhill, hasn't it? Etsy seems sort of like it's becoming an alternative Amazon as things get taken over with weird products. So I don't know if this is handmade or not. I have a hard time imagining that it is, but Coyote sent me a link to Circus Peanut Memory Perfume. Circus Peanuts Memory Perfume. Take a look at this. You know Circus Peanuts, the horrible, awful candy that I don't think anybody has ever liked? The orange peanuts that taste like they're old, but when they're brand new, they're hard to eat. They stick to your teeth, and they taste to me like Marshmallow's shitty older cousin, and they smell about the same. And so I cannot imagine wanting this to exist. But this person has created Circus Peanuts Memory Perfume. According to the reviews, what buyers say is smells amazing and love it. According to Etsy's AI review overview. The item details read as follows. Circus peanuts are shaped like a peanut, have a bright orange coloring, and taste like banana. That's a lie. They look like a marshmallow, but are hard and chewy. Circus Peanuts candies have been voted the worst candy in the world multiple times. I believe that one. Maybe they're just misunderstood, or maybe no one understands them. Color Noise Circus Peanuts Memory Perfume is designed to transport you to your best memories of those fascinating and confusing candies. Well, it does smell exactly like a circus peanut tastes, banana candy. And then it has a section that it says, the way this is laid out is extremely funny to me. It says notes with a couple music notes. Sugary banana marshmallows, circus peanut memories. Color Noise perfumes are a collection of synesthesia-inspired perfumes, each correlating to a different color, mood, memory, or music. Synesthesia is a rare and blah, blah, blah. Synesthesia is when your senses you get different sensory input. You all know what synesthesia is. They say ritual. Pull off the gold cap to uncover the sprayer. Spray once onto the wrist and massage into the skin until absorbed. Become one with the peanut. Repeat as desired. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in and out while picturing your favorite circus peanut memories. This reminds me of the time I saw Play-Doh perfume at work, and the Play-Doh perfume smelled exactly like Play-Doh. I imagine this probably does smell exactly like circus peanuts. So now I'm curious, what do buyers actually say? There are apparently 26 reviews. Most of them are pretty short. A lot of them don't seem super real to me. Let's go ahead and flip through this. The top one from Karina, size 10 milliliter spray. Got the small one. Karina wasn't ready to commit to, I don't know what the biggest size is, 32 ounces? Who the fuck knows? Karina says, it was so wonderful it ended up being the fragrance for me. It really transports me to those magical circuses that I have only seen in dreams. which is amazing. Matt says, does one smell sticky with this fragrance? I imagine you have to. Although, you know, the texture of circus peanuts, like, is a super weird texture. And it's not exactly sticky. It's like unaffected by anything that happens to it. I don't know. It's like shoe leather. Coyote Astronaut says it's a single maker who does other stuff like breakfast cereals. Oh, okay. So it is a single person who does this sort of thing. That's buck wild. Lightbulb says you do it to sneakily spray at people so they get confused. Katie says, who bought the 10 milliliter size, also says, will be a repeat customer. Jamie said, oh my God, I could smell this as soon as I opened the bag. So good. And this person, Fawn, also bought the 10 milliliter spray small. A lot of people are not seeming ready to commit to the big size. Says, I bought her circus peanut fragrance and received a free sample of cinnamon cereal milk. I was so excited when they finally arrived. Unfortunately for me, however, these two fragrances do not last long on my skin at all. It happens, and there's nothing wrong with these wonderful fragrances. It just means that my skin absorbed/evaporated the fragrances so much faster than I would have liked. And that likely has everything to do with my skin type, hydration, chemistry, body heat, and or pH. Truth be told, both of these fragrances smelled 100% true to life as soon as their scent molecules came into direct contact with my olfactory receptor neurons. And that's exactly why I gave them 5 stars. And honestly, in my humble opinion, despite my skin being an asshole, both fragrances 100% earned every single one of those 5 stars too. Okay, Fawn. Hey, Fawn. Sit down. Take a load off. You're working hard. You're working real hard, Fawn. You can chill. You got it now. That's an extremely intense review. Let's see if there's anything else in here. We'll get one more good one. Other people are saying that the smell fades very fast, which I would honestly, if I was the seller, I would highlight that as a feature of this product. Doesn't stick around long. Lasts exactly as long as the novelty of it. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's a nice emoji-filled review for us. Just from Etsy buyer. Also purchased the small size. Circus peanut perfection. I didn't know that it could be done, but you have perfected the classic, unique scent of circus peanuts. So much that I even went out and purchased a bag to compare, and it's absolutely outstandingly spot on. You have taken the circus peanut and bottled it up. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. LOL, I absolutely love it. 100% emoji, heart-surrounded smiley emoji. Sharp, sweet opening of the circus peanut, quote-unquote, banana marshmallow, which lasts a good while, then settles into such a beautiful, mellow, sweet, smooth, soft marshmallow scent. Would go great with other plain marshmallow scents for layering. I love it. Now I'm just imagining a real bouquet of various marshmallow scents sort of layered and stacked on top of each other. Kind of an incredible thing to aim for. Would be great with other plain marshmallow scents for layering. I love it as a standalone capital F fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous. Such a high quality oil and high quality packaging. She even included a taffy sample, which I also love. Very nice. Highly recommended seller. So I do want to take back anything I said that might suggest that the seller is not real or talented. I think the seller is real and talented and is doing some pretty buck wild stuff out here. And honestly, after reading these reviews, maybe I should get some. Maybe, hey, I just got a gig that's finally paying our rent. Maybe we'll have enough left over that I can drop $13.50 on some circus peanut perfume. And then I too can smell like everyone's favorite orange snack. Looking at the seller's page, there's a lot of very good things. They have circus peanuts, peach rings, birthday cake, cereal milk, bubblegum, crunchy cereal milk, chocolate cereal milk, taffy, matcha, holographic, jelly donut, iridescent, pineapple dole, beachy, unique, coast, dreamy, happiness, forest bathing. This is really, honestly, kind of impressive. I don't know how one becomes a perfumist. I don't know how someone becomes a perfumist. I remember reading, wasn't there like a horror thriller creepy novel about someone who became a perfumist? Wasn't it literally just called Perfume? And they were like stealing the essence from people. That's the closest that my awareness is to how to become a perfumist. Matt Bliss says, honestly, I've never heard of this particular quote-unquote food before today. Consider yourself lucky. I think my dad likes circus peanuts, and I'm going to have to talk to him about it. I've been very lucky in that I have very unproblematic parents. My parents always send me pictures of them at like No King's protests and stuff. They're out there fighting the good fight. But my dad does, I think, unironically like circus peanuts, so there is something that we do need to talk about. Matt says, just laughed out loud. I didn't smell like circus peanuts long enough. 1 star. Matt Bliss also said, new segment unlocked, Mason Reed's product reviews. I love product reviews. There's a podcast that featured them. What was it called? I think it was called The 1 Stars by Max, the guy, the person who made Wizard Seeking Wizard, which is like a wizard, an Ask Abby style show where there was a wizard trapped in an orb, and he would take like listener questions about love and romance and answer them in a very wizardly manner, and all the questions are very wizardly. Check out Wizard Seeking Wizard if you want a fun little podcast diversion. But I think Max also has a show called The 1 Stars. Or no, that's Jeremy. That's Jeremy Ellett, the creator of Two Flat Earthers Kidnap a Freemason, as well as many other projects. Jeremy Ellett, I think, has The 1 Stars, which is all about 1-star reviews of products. Cody Astronaut says Richard Stink needs to get involved with this. I do love Richard Stink. I'm a big Stink head. I'm a big Stink fan. I love Richard Stink. Cody Astronaut says also a great pen name. Yeah, but that one's taken. Sid says, meanwhile, I think about SpongeBob in the perfume department. Oh yeah, what a great shot. Was that in the movie? I think that was in the movie, right? Where they go through that whole perfume section and get absolutely blasted. That was a really good movie. Leonard says great movie. I think that was extremely high quality. I had really low hopes going into it. I remember thinking like, oh, I've seen some disappointing movie versions, but that one slapped. And it had David Hasselhoff in it, didn't it? It's really hard not having Bug here. It's hard for me to think of what to say, and because I'm scared of silence, I'm scared to drink my water bottle. But boy, is my throat dry. Sid says no, it's just an episode, but the movie is perf. Is that not part of when they're like going through to get like tougher and stuff? I really thought it was. I'm not up on my SpongeBob lore. Hey, also, guess what? It's 7:29. You've wasted 30 minutes hanging out with just me, scrambling around looking at shit. So it's time to talk really quick about our community partners that make this show possible. All the goofy goobers, freaks, and weirdos over at patreon.com/Bug and Moss, where you can support us for as low as $3.99 a month to become a critter. You can spend a little more to become a freak, or even more if you want to become a community partner and get an ad read on our show of your thing at least once a week, possibly more. And our show is brought to you today by... let's do Colin. Colin M. Parker, Community M. Partner. Colin streams variety on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. No Bones on Mondays at 5. Final Fantasy Reset series on Wednesdays at 6. And then music shows at 8 p.m. on Friday, including that all-new Punk, where they list tier list new Punk tunes for the first time. And WBRP, where Twitch subscribers get to submit 1 song per month for chat to listen to and discuss. All at twitch.tv/Colin M. Parker. Colin also creates the podcast Timeline Scavengers, where they put the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in historical order, scene by scene or day by day. The show starts with the dawn of time in Thor 2, and then goes to eons ago in What If, then to 15,000 BCE in Black Panther, and so on and so forth. It's a podcast specifically designed to last forever, as they just keep making more and more scenes for them to talk about. Found on all podcatchers under Timeline Scavengers. So if you're one of them Marvel freaks, this is the show for you. I know the spreadsheets that underlie this show are vast and endless, and people have gotten lost wandering through just the spreadsheets alone. Thank you for supporting the show, Colin. Thank you for being a great community partner and a great community friend. 7:31 on the Bug and Moss Morning Telephone Show. Sid has come in with some of the SpongeBob lore here about the movie regarding the perfume scene. And no, it's the episode that includes the you're good, where they're backing up the boat, where they're escaping the Flying Dutchman's ship. That's the one with the perfume section. That did spark a memory, and now I remembered that episode. That was a very good episode. Thank you, Sid, for that SpongeBob lore drop. Coyote Astronaut says the Timeline Scavengers have the back rooms of spreadsheets, and that is absolutely true. The sheer amount of organization to take their presumably extremely messed up canon and try and put it in sequence, It is a bold and honorable and a pursuit that I would never want to undertake. I can't imagine doing anything like that, even with any series I really like. I just can't. I just don't have that kind of brain. But Colin and Jamie absolutely rip it out. Leonard says, I think about that SpongeBob episode every day. I'm looking up through my notebook here to see if there's anything that I have missed in the past that anyone wanted to talk about. But currently, not really seeing too much floating around in there. Oh, I do know that we have some voicemails in the email inbox, but I also know that if I eat all the voicemails and Bug comes home, she won't have any voicemails to eat. And if Bug doesn't have voicemails to eat, what's she going to eat? What are we going to do? I'm going to put on some drums real quick because I need to sip some water because my throat's really dry. Well, there's no one else to talk, so I don't want there to be silence. So give me a second while I drink some water. Ow! You ever drink water really hard? Like you're like, how fast can I drink it? And then you get like that pain, and it kind of feels like the water turned into a cube, and that cube is slowly like rotating while it goes down your throat. Ooey. That didn't feel great. Sid says there's so many new Marvel projects coming out. I get scared for them. Yeah, I get scared for them too. I don't know how they would keep up with it at all, but they do. Timeline scavengers. 60 watts light bulb seems to be on my side with the throat swallowing cube of water pain. Thank you, light bulb, for your solidarity. What do we want to talk about? What do we want to do, guys? The world's our oyster. Bug's not here. I kind of feel like we're like, I don't know, like we accidentally took over the studio and like we're not supposed to be here and we can just do anything. What should we do? Should we like just Google shit? Should I see what I have on my computer that maybe you haven't seen? I got lots of stuff on this thing. This thing? Lots of stuff on it. Matt Bliss says, in regards to the MCU, Doomsday now seems more like Uncle Thor teaches kid to save planet, which is fun. 60 watts light bulb says, I'm trying to figure out drawing backgrounds. If I don't know if this is at all useful or probably just makes things harder. I've wanted to experiment with using Blender for backgrounds because I often find it is easier to do perspective in 3D because it does it for you, right? And so, oh my goodness, that water's coming back. And so with Blender, like mocking up, like not even necessarily doing the stylized drawings in Blender, but just mocking up with like boxes and spheres and things like that. And then you can use that to draw your stuff over. That might be something worth trying. But 6 Watts Light Bulb says maybe if I knew how to use Blender at all. That is true. That is definitely a prerequisite to it. But that's something I've been thinking about with trying to get more into drawing as well, because I want to be doing some cartoons. I've wanted for a long time to make cartoons for PodCube, but it's very hard to draw people. And so I started doing, ironically, I did a lot of backgrounds and then never ended up doing any of the actual animation on top of it. Art's hard, y'all. Drawing shit's tricky. Leonard has offered to give me a film buffering, so this is fun. Here we go. You ready? I think this is going to be short and fairly easy.
Oh, movies? The thing everyone likes? Moss apparently hates them. It's film buffering. All right, film buffering, the game where I have to guess a film with very few clues. This one comes in from Leonard. This is an absolutely bastardized film buffering. Clue number 1. There was a mile. It was green. I'm thinking, it's not Seabiscuit. It's not The Longest Yard. It's another one of those sports movies. Oh, we all know what this is. It's The Green Mile, Leonard. It's The Green Mile. Woo, I'll play the pause button. Thank you. Coyote Astronaut says Disney's Fantasia. Maybe next time, Coyote. Maybe next time. I'm so sleepy. 60 Watts Light Bulb says, I would love to learn to animate someday. I love animating. Doing Flash was what got me into art in the first place. HomestarRunner.com was probably the most influential piece of media on me in my entire life. I remember as a kid when I figured out you could change the .html in the address bar to .swf, the SWF file, which was what Flash files were made of. And you could just download it straight from their website and then open it up in my totally legally acquired copy of Macromedia Flash MX and then pull apart the animations and the characters and see how they structured it and how they built it. And so as a child, I spent most of my summer vacations
and Days After School, peeling apart Homestar Runner animations and figuring out how they did it. And I made a bunch of my own animations. Actually, you know what? I haven't showed these to anybody. Maybe fuck it. Maybe today's the day. Maybe today's the day I show you the animations that I made when I was a kid. Because honestly, one of them is pretty impressive in IMO for something that I did as a youngin'. Let me see where I can find this. I know one place that they live. It's deep in my projects folder, so I have to find that. Matt Bliss also said, Mason, I've got a game I haven't finished putting it together yet, but if you want to tackle it anyway for lulz, I'll send the email now. Ooh, Matt, save it until it's good. I would love to do that. I love any games that are submitted. I wouldn't want you to cut it off at the knees just for me to do right now because I didn't prep enough of a show. But yeah, let me, the thing is I have a problem where I store all of my stuff in folders that I think make sense to me, but I name them like poetry. Not good poetry, but I just mean that I name them very abstractly. And so I don't really know exactly where I'm putting these things. Because I was making a video that was all of like, I was going to do like a history video, like a who am I type video. And so I pulled a bunch of my old stuff and I tucked it away somewhere in a folder for that video. And now I, good Lord, cannot find it. Let's see. I'll go straight to the source. I have a drive that I found at my parents' house in the basement. I've been looking for this. I thought these were lost forever. And I thought that I lost all of these animations because I didn't have them on any computers. I had them on a computer at my parents' house that I accidentally stuck a pen into the computer fan and then fried the processor. Which was cool. So that, I thought it was long gone. I thought it was cooked, but it turns out at some point I had backed up a bunch of my Flash animations onto this computer that was sitting at my parents' house in the living room for a lot of years when I was a kid. So I went there for Christmas, and when we were there, I was like, you know what? One more time, I'm going to look into... fucking found it. Hell yeah. I'm going to look into the basement, see if I can't happen to find a computer that has a hard drive in it. And so I dug around and I found a really old computer hiding in the corner of the basement and discovered that it contained all my animations. And so I fucking found them. So why don't we go ahead and do this? I found one. This is possibly the longest animation I ever made as a kid. At the time, I had considered this like my magnum opus. I was going to turn it into this whole series. And I apologize again, podcast listeners. If you're on this and you're the podcast listener, you might as well just skip this one because it's about to get very visual up in here. Okay, and I'm going to pull it up on screen over here. And it's time to share. So this is a Flash animation that I created at the ripe old age of, I think, 14 years old. At the time, I was very into Battlefield 2 and stick figure animation. And so I wanted to make a stick figure war movie. And this is a 2-minute and 38-second masterpiece that child me created. It's very violent, obviously, because that's all that stick figure animations were. And, sound design is a bit bonkers. Also, since there's no real dialogue, I'll just chat over it. Me and my friends back in the day were obsessed with trying to glitch in video games when it was more easy to, like, run in a corner and then have someone, like, jump on top of you and then they would glitch through walls. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but, like, the Ratchet and Clank multiplayer games were notorious for that on the PlayStation 2. And so me and my friends would always try and find glitches and exploits that we could use to accidentally, or not to break the game and sort of cheat. But we were never doing it in the sense of like trying to win. We were always just trying to see what we could do. And we ended up figuring out a bunch of new glitches by like finding methods that worked to like help get you through walls and stuff. And so in this animation, I tried to emulate a bunch of different like things that I was into, like people glitching and like the server lagging, nonsensical stuff and like text chat. I made this big, awful walking mech. I was also really into forum wars back in the day. I don't know if any of y'all remember forum wars. where you would basically just like role play post one after the other, and people would be like, I drive in with my tank and start blasting. And I would use all of these assets I made to make little little pictures to attach to my forum war posts. And that was very fun. That was probably the only part of the forum where I didn't get yelled at for being a child. Everywhere else I was very annoying. The OMFG weapons box, little box clipping underneath it in the back. It's very much
engaged.
Man, I can't believe this is so many thousands of frames too. As a kid, I remember thinking like this is going to be so long, and it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's thousands and thousands of frames. And like this, as this goes, you can see me learning different techniques and different things. I really wanted to get into doing better actual like animation because a lot of that is puppeting. The stick figures are all, it's all articulated joints and stuff. I have some other things that I plan on including in a longer videos. Well, what the hell? What is this? Oh yeah. Then I was also trying to like do more of this kind of thing, trying to figure out doing other frame by frame style stuff. Man, I miss the Flash era. It was so much fun. I really, what I miss is that it was super simple to do 2D animation, and there isn't really a program that is that easy anymore in terms of the interface. The only thing I can think of that's even close nowadays is Blender, and to get to that point, it's a lot more involved. Like, it's hard to just draw some stuff and like animate it in Blender, because you have to like really know Blender and know the way it handles stuff for 3D to make it handle stuff well in 2D. And there's people that do amazing work in it, but nothing is quite so simple as Adobe Animate was, and I guess still is. Macromedia Flash MX was the version I had forever. It was really great. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh, I have another thing I guess I can show. I really wanted to create some kind of like spooky OC. I was very into like the Gorillaz, the backstory of 2D. The lead singer his eyes were all black because he was in like a car accident. So I was like super into the like, yeah, man, I got like thrown into a fire, but like I came out and now I'm like a spooky guy, but I do good. And so I created this character named Dent, and I made an intro movie for him. Oh, that's not the right thing. Is it hanging out? Yeah, here we go. I found it. This is my attempt at a very silly, dramatic like movie about this character I created named Dent, who has skeleton arms and a dent in his head, and you'll see the reason why is pretty dumb and very kid logic. This is Dent. What a cool name, right? Look at those skeleton hands. He got thrown off a building and hit by a car. Boom, look at that. And this is his story. And I guess it's his drunk stepdad throwing bottles off the roof. And then he I think where it was going to go is then he accidentally like throws his nephew or whatever. And that's how his story starts. Kid logic is everything. Looking up at the chat, Leonard says, man, this is awakening old memories. I was super into stick figure animations. Made some of my own with Pivot, if I'm remembering the program name correctly. Mine were all wrestling based. I think Pivot was a thing. If I recall, I think I remember Pivot. I wonder if Pivot is still around. Sid the Kingmaker says, do y'all remember the stick figure fight videos of the guy's desktop? Yes. Animation versus Animator, I think is what those were called. And those were hugely influential to me as a kid. I thought that was the coolest thing. It like breaks out, starts throwing pieces of the interface at the, oops, I just flung my vape. Starts like pulls frames out of the timeline, starts throwing them at the mouse pointer. It was so cool. It was the most meta, it was like the most boundary breaking meta thing I remember seeing at that age at all. It was genuinely so impressive. Coyote said, I was expecting the Strider to be a pile of fireworks in that animation. Leonard says, I had an obsession with doing the and thing with endorphin and trying to teach myself how to use those physics systems. I don't know what that means, Leonard. With doing the and thing with endorphin? Now, what is that? Lipo says, so fun. Coyote Astronaut says, Dent needs a sibling named Scratch. Lipo says, true storytelling. Lipo also says, pretty sure they're still going. The Animator versus Animation. That's interesting. I know that there were a couple of them that came out. I don't know. I didn't know that there was more of them continuing onwards. I have some other Flash animations, but I'm not going to dig into those because a lot of them are just sort of stubs of leftover little pieces. But that's a fun little journey down memory lane. It's always fun to look back at the things you did when you were roll little, you know? What's this? IMG 7200? Oh, that's a play that I was in. Let's see. I got some random video files hanging out in here. Oh my gosh. I found a video of me as like a young teenager. I think I was like 14. What is this?
Pajama Sam.
Pajama Sam? Okay.
Pajama Sam.
Pajama Sam. That's amazing. All right. Well, then what's this going to be? Tucker in front of a blue screen. Oh, right. We were shooting a music video and we were going to like put ourselves on a green screen doing a bunch of weird stuff.
I could edit something in really.
That's anyway. I have so many of these old videos just like kicking around in here that I want to stitch together into like some kind of like nostalgia video of things I've done. I thought it'd be kind of fun. I got to figure out an angle to make it interesting, but I wanted to tell the story of just like, I don't know, I guess my life, even my life's not that interesting, but you know, I just want to do like a retrospective of like, here's all this, I've done all this stuff since I was a kid and like see how far I've come, mostly just so that I could have it. I don't know that anyone would really care to watch it, but at some point I want to do that because I think that would be fun. And I also think I would like that kind of thing of like my friends. It'd be fun to see, it's fun to see someone grow up and change, I think it's neat. Sid says if I ever play it on stream in the future, that should be the promo. What should be the promo? Pajama Sam. That. Yeah. Oh, when we stream Pajama Sam, yes, which we need to continue doing. Those games are so much fun. I do believe that we're on for America's Next Top Portal tomorrow. I know we missed last week because Bug was at the coffee tasting class where Bug learned how to taste coffee. It was apparently very cool. I think we are back on this week. We're going to continue season 2 of America's Next Top Model. I believe we're still going to play Portal. There's a chance that might be the bit that we don't do, depending on it. Well, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out because I'm on this tight deadline with this project that I'm doing that's got to be turned in really fast, and it's taking a lot of time. But I do know that at the very least, we're going to do the watch party. We'll probably still do the stream and continue our journey into Portal 2. So tomorrow in the evening from 3 p.m. to 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. we'll be having the watch party in the Discord, and then 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. we'll be streaming Portal, unless we're not because of the need to pull a ripcord on some extra time. So that is sort of an update of what's going on here. It is 7:49 on the Bug and Moss Morning Telephone Show. It's Wednesday. What are you doing today? What's going on? What's happening is Wednesday. Surely nothing is starting, but also nothing is ending. That's sort of the thing about Wednesdays is stuff just kind of keeps going. What I've got on the docket ahead of me for the day is just more editing. I'm cutting down. The project I got is a sizzle reel for South by Southwest. So I'm cutting together this sort of epic trailer style sizzle reel thing with all this different stock footage. And like there's these two presenters. It's about scams and scam safety and romance scams, which by the way, if you haven't plugged into any media that has talked about that, it's probably worth brushing up on because, the scamming industry is massive right now and exploding, and AI only makes it a lot easier for scammers to spread themselves farther and wider and do more convincing things to try and trick you into doing whatever it is they want you to do. And there's a form of scam called a pig butchering scam that has been going on for a while now, and it is such a large-scale operation that it is run by organized crime out of certain parts of China, where they literally have these like industrial buildings where people are human trafficked to. Like they get told they're going to be have a job or come here and they'll have a work opportunity. They get there, their passports get taken, and then they get held against their will in these buildings and forced to scam people. And the scams that they perpetrate, the pig butchering scams, are these long con romance scams or friendship scams or investment scams where strangers will contact you and they will start, they'll try and become your friend, talk to you about investing, and slowly trick you into giving them money. And they're called pig butchering scams because the goal is to try and bleed you of all of your money. Rather than just walk away with like a lump sum, their goal is to take as much from you as they can. And they are largely successful. There's a lot of people who have lost like their entire net worth their retirement savings. And you might think like, oh, it's just a problem amongst old people or whatever, but it's not. It happens to people of all ages, and happens to people who you wouldn't expect. And if you think if you're the kind of person who's like, yeah, but I would never fall for a scam like that, you should really investigate that in yourself and not think that, because anyone can fall for a scam. And so, yeah, check out the Fake Files episode on pig butchering if you want to learn more about that. There's also a lot of good stuff to look up, but that's important. And anyway, that's what the sizzle reel is about, because that's what the talk is going to be about. Matt Bliss has sent a game to my email inbox. So this is going to be a little bit of a game segment to wrap things up. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at this? Matt says, well, actually, you know what we need? We need a little intro to key this up.
Hey, what about a very small internet quiz?
The game is guess these Aussie 90s TV show premises. Matt Bliss says that he saw this on Instagram and figured it was another chance for him to flex his Aussie-ness. We all love children's TV, so he says he figures I'll have a good time. The game is this. Play an Instagram post, no sound because copyright. Pause at each new image of TV show, and guess the following, the show title and the premise. Answers are here, plus instructions. Don't spoil yourself. All right, y'all, you ready? Let's see if we can't guess what these Aussie kids TV shows are about. I'm going to pot down this quiz music real quick. All right, so let's get it going. Instagram is unfortunately notoriously frustrating and difficult on desktop, so while it loads up and then unmute. What was TV like in Australia? Oh, did it glitch out? What was TV like in Australia in the 90s? Oh, and this is copyrighted music. All right, so you know what, actually? We'll bring the quiz music back up, and then we'll go back over here. Okay, and then we'll mute that. Let's see if we can't figure this out. What was Australia like in the 90s on TV? Okay, so the first one that we saw, I can't go back, was Ocean Girl. Let's just do this one because I managed to stop on it. Round the Twist is an Aussie TV show. It kind of has Full House vibes. We got a dad with curly hair and a bunch of kids standing on sort of a rocky coast, a little lighthouse in the background. It kind of has Maine vibes. I wonder if Australia just has some Maine vibes also. If I had to guess, I'm going to say this is like a Full House type show about a divorced dad or a single parent in some way. Now, how do I know if I'm right? The game, move to next page for answers. Okay. Round the Twist follows the Twist family, widowed sculptor Tony and his 3 children, Pete, Linda, and Bronson, who move into a lighthouse in the coastal town of Port Noranda. They battle a ruthless local developer and frequently become the victims of surreal supernatural curses and magical phenomena. Fascinating. I don't think I would ever have guessed that. Here's the next one. The Genie from Down Under. So this is just an Aussie Aladdin clone, right? This has to be an Aussie Aladdin clone. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think that this could possibly be. Let's go ahead and scroll down. The Genie from Down Under is a 1996 to 1998 children's comedy series about Penelope Towns, a spoiled upper-class English girl who finds a magic opal in her attic. The opal holds 2 Australian genies, a father and son named Bruce and Baz, who trick her into wishing her family to a rundown Australian outback property. Okay, so not exactly a parallel to the plot of Aladdin, but I can see the vibes. Next one. Okay, Instagram's trying to scroll me away. This is that the mouse? Is that the mouse from Bear in the Big Blue House? Fallen on Rough Times? Is that, what's his name, Winston? Or no, that's the mouse in Cat Dog. That's the mouse from Bear in the Big Blue House. 100%, right? And then there's just like this is like Timothy Chalamet, like Tennessee Chevrolet looking motherfucker back here. Tutter, thank you, Sid. Tutter fell on some rough times and teamed up with the cat that wrote Cats, the Five Nights at Freddy's kid, or the like grandmother of Five Nights at Freddy's, and then some high school basketball mascot ventriloquist dummy. And I'm assuming that they fight crime? I don't know. Let's see. What the hell do you think this is? The Ferals, a 1990s live-action children's live-action and puppet television comedy series broadcast on the ABC following a rebellious, cynical, and chaotic group of animal puppets living in a backyard shed who constantly scheme, cause mischief, and battle against their uptight landlord. I honestly would watch the shit out of that. Next television, Amazing. This is just Family Feud. Bing, bang, boom. 10 points to me. Amazing was a popular Australian children's television show that aired on the 7 network. Hosted by James Sherry, it featured primary school student teams competing across a full week in computer games, general knowledge, and physical challenge. It's best remembered for its massive studio maze obstacle course, where contestants hunted for hidden letters and keys. Well, that sounds a bit like Double Dare, doesn't it? Y'all remember Double Dare on the Nickelodeon show? Yeah, Sid in chat says, oh, so it's like Double Dare. Yeah, that's fun. All right, let's keep going. These guys, the 2 bananas. I know these bananas. I know these nanners. I think they're called the nanners, right? Yeah, I think it's the nanners. Let's check. Bananas in Pajamas, that's right. Bananas in Pajamas, popular Australian television series about 2 friendly giant twin bananas named B1 and B2. They wear blue and white striped pajamas, live on Cuddles Avenue, and go on fun, playful adventures with their neighbors, 3 teddy bears, Amy, Lulu, and Morgan. At least they weren't T1, T2, and T3, and a sneaky rat in a hat. The next show, I saw the title, is called Spellbinder. This looks kind of like Outlander a little bit. I almost said Outward. That's a video game. This looks a little bit Outlandery, doesn't it? I mean, this has like teen fantasy adventure drama energy for sure, in a big way. I think, but it kind of looks like, I can't tell because this one looks like Lord of the Rings and this one looks like Stargate. So I'm going to go ahead and think that it is like some kind of magic fantasy fusion. It's a sci-fi fantasy. Hey, 10 points to me, 1,000,000 points to Moss. It's my birthday. About Paul Reynolds, a 15-year-old student who's accidentally stranded in a parallel dimension where the Industrial Revolution never happened. Ruled by a group called Spellbinders, who disguise high-tech science as magic to control the population. Paul must use his own scientific knowledge and wits to survive and find a way back home. Hell yeah. Let's do one more of these, and then we will wrap the show, and then I'm going to save the rest of them because this is a joy. And I'm also going to pull them out as screenshots because I want to get Bug in on this, too. And I see that there's a few left. And the last one is Agro's Cartoon Connection. This looks like if Disney Channel made Sesame Street. This has early 2000s vibes. This feels like a show that was, straddling 9/11, if that makes sense. I know that's a bold thing to say, but just everything about this has one leg on either side of the Twin Towers. There's a puppet in the middle. I'm assuming that's Agro. I'm assuming he's kind of a grouch, sort of like the Grouch from Grouchland or whatever. Sesame Street, the Muppets. The Grouch is from Sesame. Yeah, he lives in a trash can on Sesame Street. I think that's Agro, the Grouch. And then we have Hilary Duff, Paul F. Tompkins as a baby, and I knew that there's an actress that she reminded me of, and I can't remember to save my life. But baby Paul F. Tompkins, Hilary Duff, and Agro Crag. I'm assuming this is like a Sesame Street type beat. I think this has got to be a Sesame Street, 9/11 Sesame Street type beat. Agro's Cartoon Connection was a popular Australian weekday morning children's television show from 1990 to 1997. So both feet firmly planted before the Never Forget Day. It was hosted by a cheeky, sarcastic puppet named Agro, voiced by comedian Jamie Dunn, along with various human co-hosts, combining cartoon blocks with chaotic comedy, banter, and audience interactions. Matt, what a fruitful game you have pulled together for us. I'm going to pull out these shows as screenshots. I'm going to quiz Bug on the rest of them tomorrow because that sounds like it would be a lot of fun. But I have just noticed that the clock has ticked over to 8 a.m. So what are we going to do, gang? We're going to go, I guess. We're going to go home. We're going to leave. We're going to do our thing. Y'all got work. I got work. We got shit to do. Thanks for hanging out with me as I flummox, fall, trip, and stumble my way through hosting the show alone without having done any preparation. Thanks for joining my train wreck. Next time I host the show solo, I'll do some real crazy shit. I'm going to make a whole bunch of promises right now. I'll do all sorts of stuff. I'll have visual effects. I'll get a famous celebrity cameo. We'll make things really happen out here. Next time it's just me. Things are going to get really wiggly. But until then, I hope you enjoy your Wednesday. I hope you have a great time. Thanks for spending this morning with me. Wow, it's 8:01. We're going to listen to the Cheeky Chores theme again on the way out because, boy, is it so good. Love you big time. Be safe. Have a good time. And don't do a bad Wednesday. hold on. I just realized I can do something a little more fun than just play this song out because I made a music video for this song and I just remembered that I did that. So we're going to go ahead and play that because I think that's more fun. Wow! What's up? Screaming back in here. It's me at the end. I do have to. Oh, that's Matt Bernstein.
My errand.
I have to pull up my YouTube channel so that I can find this. Matt Bernstein's probably going to talk again. Nope.
I am very excited.
Yep, there he goes. Caught him. Now wait, just hold on. None of this is happening. You can't see or hear any of this. None of this is anything to pay attention to. Nightmare, 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 nightmare. I have it. I have the music video that I made for this. I know I do. I know I did it. It was back in 2021 for the Snip Showcase we used this theme. All right, y'all. Here we go. Bye. Little 3D animation.